Welcome back to another episode of No Space, No Time World. I am Siriel and I'm here on the Conscious Consumer Network every Wednesday evening to take you through a meditation and give out a healing transmission. When we do have a guest, it will be a guest who will be sharing his or her personal experiences, first-hand personal experiences, of anomalies or glitches in the matrix, showing us things and occurrences that are outside this 3D world that we are programmed to believe is real. So please do email in at my email address on the screen and share your own personal experiences, which I can read out on the show if you wish. Plus, please send in any requests for any specific healings that we can address as a group transmission and any experiences you have had from participating in the weekly meditation or healing transmissions. It'd be nice to know what happens to you out there. For me, this last week has been filled with so many things and so much busyness and so many weird dreams and more kind of extraterrestrial stuff, meeting in dreams with extraterrestrials, a new species that I hadn't met before, kind of humanoid looking again, but very different. Very non-human energy and really weird greeting protocols that humans just would not do. And I actually had to tell them that. I say, you cannot greet humans like that. I'm sorry. It's no, just don't do it. Anyway, so also in this past week, I've been lucky to have some new healing discoveries. And I have begun to work with these new things, and they're proving to go really deep and bring out some previous hidden things within clients, which is great. Because I'm always looking for better, quicker and more effective ways to clear whatever needs to be cleared, whatever the client needs. And also more powerful and quicker ways, well, not with awakening, but more powerful ways to awakening and more effective ways to deliver all of these things. So it's really good. I'm really happy when I get new information. I can work, do new things. And another thing I have done this week is to update our weekly meditation, the Awaken the Spark Within. Kind of happened last minute, actually. I'd say in the week, but it was actually last night at around midnight, between midnight and 1 a.m. So it just happened. I don't know how it's going to work. We'll see. Though there are changes and additions, it has expanded a little. And it should give you a bigger personal expansion, both within and without, both ways. So I do hope you are going to enjoy this. I enjoyed rewriting it. I hope you enjoy receiving it. It does feel very much more expansive to me, at least, and I will welcome your feedback. So let's try it out. Let us begin and see what the new version brings us. Okay. So relax. Get into your comfortable position and take off your shoes if possible. Sit, lay down, whichever you can do. Whatever feels the most comfortable for you. Close your eyes. Clear your mind. Be at peace. Now focus. Focus on the point approximately 2 to 3 fingers width below your navel. Staying at the level of this point, shift your focus to right inside your body, right inside. Any participating extraterrestrials, please focus on your own center within and go right inside there. You are all now in your core, the core of your body and the core of your entire energy field. Breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Breathe in the pure light of spirit and exhale this pure light into your core. Fill this core space. Fill this core space with the pure, loving light. With every out-breath, feel it spread out, revitalizing and rejuvenating your core. Keep breathing, saturating your core with spirit. As this pure, loving light spreads, it reveals a door. This is the lower door of your core. Door number 1. Please walk towards this door and with thanks and gratitude and a smile from your heart center, open the door and step through. You are now in the lower chamber of your core. Breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Breathe in the pure light of spirit and exhale this pure light into the lower chamber of your core, filling it completely with pure, loving light. Keep breathing. And with every exhalation, feel this pure light spread, revitalizing and rejuvenating your lower chamber, clearing away all stuck energy, clearing away all dense energy, clearing away all heavy energy, and revitalizing your physical form. Breathing. And with every exhalation, more is clear. More and more. Notice that you will begin to feel brighter and more alive as your physical form is revitalized. Keep breathing. breathing. Spread the light. Now this pure loving light has saturated your lower chamber. Another door is revealed. This door is the middle door, door number 2. Please walk towards this door. And with thanks and gratitude and a smile from your heart center, open this door and step through. You are now in the middle chamber of your core, the chamber of the heart. Now breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Keep breathing. And with every out breath, gradually fill this middle chamber with love. Breathe in the pure, loving light of spirit. And exhale this pure light into the middle chamber of your core. Filling it completely with pure love. Keep breathing. With every exhalation, feel the love and the light spread. Feel it revitalize your middle chamber. Feel it clearing away all stuck energy, clearing away all dense energy, and clearing away all energies that are not loving. Let these energies dissolve so that they cannot return. Let them transmute into the highest forms of keep breathing. With every exhalation, more dense energy is cleared, more unloving energy is cleared. And keep breathing and continue until the only energy that can exist in this chamber is that of love. Saturate your heart chamber with love unconditionally. Now as love takes over, yet another door is revealed. This door is the upper door, door number 3. With love, walk to this door. And with thanks and gratitude, and a smile from your heart center, open this door and step through. You are now in the upper chamber of your core. This is your core connection to spirit and the spiritual realm. Breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Breathe in the pure, sparkling, bright light of spirit. And exhale this pure light into the upper chamber of your core, filling completely with this pure, loving, bright, sparkling. Keep breathing. With every exhalation, feel this wonderful light spread. Feel it revitalize your upper chamber, clearing away all stuck energy, clearing away all dense energy, clearing away all blocks to higher dimensions, opening and strengthening your connection to spirit. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Feel this pure light of spirit spread and spread until your upper chamber is absolutely full. Until there is nothing else in your upper chamber but the pure, sparkling, bright, loving light of spirit. Feel it. Breathe it in. Breathe it within and without. Let it spread through your physical form, throughout your physical form, into every cell, into your DNA, into your RNA, into all your nuclear bases, and into every other part of you, physical, etheric, all systems, chakras, nadis, meridians. Let it spread throughout your field. Spread and spread. Let it spread right out, saturating every part of it, within and without. Feel it spread, feel it transmuting all denseness. Feel it clearing away all stuckness. Feel it removing all blocks to all that you are and to all that is. Feel it. Own it. Now, all of you and all your systems and fields, plus all three chambers of your core, are filled with this pure, loving, gentle, but powerful light of spirit. And pause in this love. Feel the peace. Bathe in it. And now take an even deeper breath. And exhale strongly, expanding this pure loving light of spirit, exploding it further and further and further, dimension to dimension, across all realities and parallels, further and further and further, until you experience a sudden stillness. You have reached source. Feel the stillness. Feel the peace. Feel the love feel the purity. Bathe in this exquisite energy and give thanks for all that you are and for all that is. And now remain in this state. Remember how it feels. Remember the stillness. Remember the peace. Remember the purity. Remember the love. Remember all this so that you can return to this blissful state at will at any time you wish to. And give thanks for this. Now when you're ready, please slowly and gently open your eyes. Gently return to this reality, whilst keeping your strong and renewed connection to Source. Thank you. And as you slowly and gently come back to the space we're in, I will begin to share a little about this week's healing transmission. We are continuing with the Blueprint Healing Transmission, but this week we are addressing another Blueprint unit, and this is called the Governing Fire Blueprint unit. This unit is part of the fire elements from Chinese medicine, and the fire elements consist of governing fire, ministerial fire, and sovereign fire. And these consist of a few meridians: governing vessel, central vessel, pericardial meridian, heart meridian, triple heat meridian, and small intestine meridians, all fire elements. And tonight we're doing the governing fire unit, and this consists of the central and governing meridians. And these are the last two of the extra or extraordinary meridians, and they are the only two extraordinary meridians that have their own channel that isn't part of another meridian or crossing other regular meridians. Central vessel is this way, and the governing is behind, up down the spine. So these two meridians actually together, governing and central, are part of what is called the celestial circuit in esoteric Chinese medicine. So this evening, we'll be releasing negative patterning connected to the qualities of these two meridians. So the emotions, states and beliefs that we are releasing this evening, associated with the Governing Fire Blueprint unit, and the positive qualities that we will be infusing and activating, are all adapted from the Melbourne Applied Physiology Kinesiology Working with Emotions workshop. And they actually came from a Touch for Health Emotions presentation by Margaret Murray, a presentation in 1989 at a Touch for Health conference in USA. I wasn't there. I wasn't even doing any healing at that time. And I got this information from the Working with Emotions manual that I have. So they've been going around for a while now. And as I said before, all these things that we're releasing and infusing, they're all related to the specific meridians. Each meridian has specific energy and qualities connected to it. And these emotions and states and kind of beliefs are connected to the energies of these meridians and to these blueprint coordinates. So for any new viewers this evening who haven't yet experienced a healing transmission via this show, I'm letting you know now that during the transmission there are going to be a few silent moments when I will pause from time to time. And now the reason for this is to allow for things to shift, and this is when we're releasing things. And in the case of activations and infusions, I'm waiting for these qualities to infuse and integrate. Now you'll all be making your shifts at different speeds because you're all different. And don't feel that you have to rush to catch up. Just relax into it. Okay, I have someone who's asking a question here. Let's see. Okay, someone is saying about last week's healing meditation, and it was feeling the impact for several days later. Is that normal, or am I just really sensitive to it? Yes, it can happen. It's quite common to feel the impact for several days. That can happen. I would just suggest that you keep hydrated and relax. If you feel tired, just go with it if you can, possibly. But it is quite common to feel the impact for several days, and especially with the healing transmissions. So don't worry about it. It's good. It means things are shifting. And you may find that the negative emotions that you're releasing, you may find them come up during the week. And the trick is not to go into them, not to analyze, not to kind of wallow in whichever negative emotions come up. Just acknowledge it and say to yourself, oh yeah, that was in the healing transmission. And then it will just release. The more you focus upon it, the worse you're going to feel because you're going to be feeling that negativity. So just acknowledge it and just let it go. And then you will process things far more quickly. Okay? And I hope that helps. Okay, so as I was saying, please don't feel that you have to rush to catch up and try and force a shift. Just let it happen. Just relax into it and wait for the next statement. Because at my end, my team always inform me when to continue to the next statement. So don't worry, the time will be right, whatever happens. And I'll be still here. Just relax, just trust. Your job is to receive. Be peaceful. And in these silences, just be aware of the shifts shifts happening within yourself. And if you are a new viewer experiencing this for the first time and wish to participate in previous transmissions, just go to the previous No Space, No Time World shows. Just go to the previous shows on the Conscious Consumer Network and you can go through all of them. So, all is good. So if you have some water now, and we're going to be beginning with the Blueprint Healing transmission. Keeping hydrated is good. Okay, so are you all ready? Let's go. So get back into your comfortable position, please. Close your eyes and relax. Take a deep breath. Exhale slowly. And relax while I do the preparations. Okay. Healing transmission team, please open and prepare a multi-dimensional space for the Blueprint Healing transmission. All teams, please clear and remove all dense energies from my space and from the space of each being receiving this healing transmission. All teams, please place the being you are working with in a protected sphere to shield this being from all outside interference. Stabilize. Okay. We command an immediate shift to no space, no time, now. I address all the guides, masters and teams of each being receiving this healing transmission to come online now. Please be on standby, ready to assist and support the being you are working with. All masters and specialists for both human and extraterrestrial blueprints, online now. Are all teams ready to begin? Thank you. Okay, teams, please access the blueprint of the being you are working with. Thank you. All teams working with all participating extraterrestrials, please adapt all commands regarding both the release of negative patterning and the infusion and activation of positive qualities as required to the equivalent required statement relative and relevant to the species of being you are working with. And please adapt any other commands not mentioned that need to be adapted to the species of being you are working with. All teams working with humans, please access and connect to the governing fire blueprint unit now. All teams working with extraterrestrials, please access and connect to the species-related equivalent blueprint unit now. Thank you. On all levels and layers, multi-dimensionally, ancestrally, for all incarnations across space and time. and for the highest and best good of all, we command the release from the governing fire blueprint unit or species-related equivalent and all associated cells, physical and etheric. We also request the optimal clearing that can be made at this time for each receiving being regarding all of the following statements. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to believe that I am unsupported. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to believe that I am ignored. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to feel apathetic. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from accepting myself as I am. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having a strong, healthy spine. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing my spine from being mobile, supple and flexible. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from standing straight and tall. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having strong, healthy ears. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from hearing sounds accurately and clearly. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having acute hearing. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from listening well. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from listening with understanding. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from responding with interest. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from responding appropriately. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from keeping my ears open to hear. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from interpreting correctly. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from giving appropriate feedback. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being supportive of others. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having interest. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to be unmotivated. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being flexible. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from hearing spirit. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from knowing the truth. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being able to support myself well financially. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having a job that I enjoy. command the release of all negative patterns, preventing me from encouraging myself and others. We command the release of all negative patterns, preventing me from supporting beneficial causes. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from doing my part. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to believe that I'm a failure. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to feel overwhelmed. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having a strong, healthy brain. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from thinking clearly and accurately. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having strong, healthy eyes. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having perfect eyesight. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having visual acuity. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having clear focus. We command the release of all negative patterns, preventing me from being aware. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being able to notice detail. We command the release of all negative patterning preventing me from being creative. Command the release of all negative patterning preventing me from seeing the whole picture. We command the release of all negative patterning preventing me from seeing detail. We command the release of all negative patterning preventing me from actively using all areas of my body. The release of all negative patterning preventing me from seeing clearly. We command the release of all negative patterning preventing me from concentrating. We command the release of all negative patterning preventing me from having balanced relationships. We command the release of all negative patterning preventing me from having successful relationships. We command the release of all negative patterning preventing me from being a success. We command the release of all negative patterning preventing me from achieving all I set out to do. We command the release of all negative patterns, preventing me from knowing where I'm going. We command the release of all negative patterns, preventing me from adapting to circumstances with ease. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from feeling confident. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from handling myself well. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from loving spirit. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having wisdom. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having vision. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from succeeding with money and goods. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being a financial success. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having honest and free expression within relationships. We give great thanks for the graceful release of all this negative patterning from the governing fire blueprint unit or species-related equivalent and all associated cells, physical and etheric. Thank you. Now on all levels, all layers, multidimensional, ancestral, for all incarnations across space and time and for the highest, best and good of all, we command the infusion and activation of all the following positive qualities into the governing fire blueprint unit of species-related equivalent and into all related cells, physical and etheric. We command the infusion and activation of support, we command the infusion and activation of I accept myself as I am. We command the infusion and activation of I am noticed and listened to We command the infusion and activation of I have a strong, healthy spine. We command the infusion and activation of I have a mobile, supple and flexible spine. We command the infusion and activation of I stand straight and tall. We command the infusion and activation of I have strong, healthy ears. We command the infusion and activation of I hear sounds accurately and clearly. We command the infusion and activation of I have acute hearing. We command the infusion and activation of I listen well. We command the infusion and activation of I listen with understanding. We command the infusion and activation of I respond with interest. We command the infusion and activation of I respond appropriately. We command the infusion and activation of I keep my ears open. We command the infusion and activation of I interpret correctly. We command the infusion and activation of I give appropriate feedback. We command the infusion and activation of I am supportive of others. We command the infusion and activation of I am interested. We command the infusion and activation of I am motivated. We command the infusion and activation of I am flexible. We command the infusion and activation of I hear spirit. Command the infusion and activation of I know the truth. We command the infusion and activation of I support myself well financially. We command the infusion and activation of I have a job that I enjoy. We command the infusion and activation of I encourage myself and others. We command the infusion and activation of I support myself. We command the infusion and activation of I support beneficial causes. We command the infusion and activation of I do my part. We command the infusion and activation of success. We command the infusion and activation of I have a strong, healthy brain. We command the infusion and activation of I think clearly and accurately. We command the infusion and activation of I have strong, healthy eyes. We command the infusion and activation of I have perfect eyesight. We command the infusion and activation of I have visual acuity. We command the infusion and activation of I have clear focus. We command the infusion and activation of I am aware. We command the infusion and activation of I notice and see detail. We command the infusion and activation of I am creative. We command the infusion and activation of I see the whole picture. We command the infusion and activation of I actively use all areas and pathways of my brain. We command the infusion and activation of I see clearly and I express myself clearly. We command the infusion and activation of I concentrate well. We command the infusion and activation of I have balanced and successful relationships. We command the infusion and activation of I am a success. We command the infusion and activation of I achieve all I set out to do. We command the infusion and activation of I know where I'm going. We command the infusion and activation of I adapt to circumstances with grace and ease. We command the activation and infusion of I feel confident. We command the infusion and activation of I handle myself well. We command the infusion and activation of I love spirit. We command the infusion and activation of I have wisdom and vision. We command the infusion and activation of I succeed with money and goods and am in control of all my spending. We command the infusion and activation of I am a financial success. We command the infusion and activation of I have honest and free expression within relationships. We give great thanks for the graceful activation, infusion, and integration of all these positive qualities into the governing fire blueprint unit or species-related equivalent, and into all associated cells, physical and etheric. We give great thanks to all the teams who assisted in this process, and we command the daily reinforcement with love, grace and ease of all positive qualities infused and activated into the governing fire blueprint unit or species-related equivalent, and into all associated cells, physical and etheric, for this healing transmission. Teams, please repeat the infusion and activation process once a day for the next 2 days. That's the most convenient times for the being you are working with, to allow for full, graceful and easy integration to take place. Thank you. We now command our return to the earth plane, fully present and intact on all levels. We give great thanks for this gift of love. Okay, everyone, slowly open your eyes and come gently back to the space we're in and have a good stretch. I hope you all enjoyed that and are feeling relaxed and good. I thank you for all of you for participating. I thank you all for watching the show and for all that you and we have a couple of questions. A friend is struggling with depression. Can these healing transmissions assist him in dealing with that? There will be specific areas that can deal with that. If that person would like to email me, I can give out a free treatment to this person who's struggling with depression, because it will be a different kind of healing transmission that I haven't written yet. So if that person could please email me the details and I will do a distance transmission especially for that person. Okay. Another question. Someone is asking when their eyes were closed. Yes, there was a familiar energy there. Is there a way to know who is assisting? Well, this person is probably one of your guides or your team. And however, I'm not sure which kind of connected you are. Some people hear, some people see. You have different connections. You could always just ask this familiar energy who they are and see what answer you get. I often, if I feel an energy, I ask, who is it? And this, if the energy feels good, then you know it's something good. But you have to be careful, because sometimes there are dark energies out there who pretend to be good. Who pretend to be good energies. And then once you let them in, they turn. So you have to ask if they're from the light. And if they're not from the light, they usually can't answer you. So be discerning. But as I said, you could always just say to this familiar energy, who are you? And see what happens. So if you feel a little silly just talking to an empty room, you don't have to say it out loud. You can just say it in your head. If you're not ready for the answer they give you, they won't give you an answer. If you're not ready for it, it won't come, it won't happen. So don't worry. When the time is right and when you're ready, you'll get the answer. But if you're on your own in the room, there's no need to feel silly talking to an empty room. Sometimes, maybe years ago, I used to feel a bit silly, but now I'm way past that. I don't care. But yeah, if you do feel silly, you don't feel like speaking out into an empty room, just ask in your head. But as I said, you're not going to get an answer if you're not ready for it. It's not going to happen. So don't push it. Just relax, just chill, be cool about it. It'll all happen at the right time. I hope that helps. So the person with the depression, the friend with the depression, please do email me and I can do something about that to help, okay? Right then, let's wind things up for this evening. Teams, please run grounding frequencies on all who participated in meditation and healing transmission. Thank you, teams. Okay, so remember, if you have any first-hand experiences of matrix anomalies or glitches and would like me to either read out your experiences on the show, or if you'd like to actually join me on the show and share your story or stories yourself, then
Humanity has been on an epic journey of discovery, learning the truth about the world we live in. New discoveries about the true origins of humanity, ancient history, free energy, as well as the systematic corruption of world governments are now on the forefront of our daily reality. Is the world headed towards destruction based on control and power? Or is an opportunity now being presented to shift and uplift into a higher consciousness? My name is Mel V, co-founder and creative director of Conscious Consumer Network, an independent broadcast network that was launched on the 1st of January 2015. In the last 3 years, Conscious Consumer Network has broadcast over 2,800 shows in multiple languages, featuring guests from across the world, whilst creating media that is aimed at the creation of a free, fair, peaceful, just, sustainable world. Conscious Consumer Network provides full training and an interactive support network for all broadcasters, and we are always looking for inspiring and educational content.
Hi, this is Lady Liberty.
And this is Miro Siegel.
In 2018, Conscious Consumer Network has expanded to multiple broadcast locations, increasing our availability and reach across the world, remaining on the cutting edge of independent media. If we wish to create a better world, we must first create better media, geared towards real education instead of indoctrination.
You guys really are what changing the world is going to be about. It's educating kids at a grassroots level.
Having become a pillar of stability in the turbulent world of independent media, we have even more going on in 2018. Conscious Consumer Network is a publicly funded network, and we rely on all of you to keep us on the air. Show your support for independent media by donating to our 2018 Network Support Fund. Dare to seek a better world. Support independent media.